Hello everyone, I'm Evelyn. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. So today we are building another house as per usual. This one, I don't really know what kind of style this house is. So I found a house on Pinterest, as I usually do. And I figured I kind of wanted to build something in Brindleton Bay. So this house I felt would fit this area. And it was one of those houses you can find on like floor plan websites where you can buy them if you want to build them in real life or whatever. I don't exactly know how that works, I'm not gonna lie, but I think it's something like that. And on their website, they had different categories. This one was under cottages, but I'm not really sure why they would call it a cottage. I don't know, but I'm also not an expert when it comes to architecture, so I'm not gonna sit here and say that they're wrong either, but it confused me a little bit, so I don't really know what to call this, but I think I'm gonna end up going with something like countryside family cottage or something. I'm definitely getting countryside vibes from this house, so that's also why I figured it would fit best into Brindleton Bay. Also because I've not built there for a while, so it felt like it was about time. But yeah, if you know what kind of style this is, the architecture, the exterior of the house, let me know because honestly I cannot tell, so I would love for someone to actually tell me. But this is built on a 30 by 20, like I said, in Brindleton Bay. It is built in the upper left corner of the map, so that's probably my favorite area of Brindleton Bay, not gonna lie. And like I said, it had been a while since I built here the last time, so I just felt like it was about time. So I had to go back to one of my favorite areas for this world. And it has room for 2 parents and also a kid. You could possibly fit in a bunk bed. I did not decide to do that in the end, but you could possibly fit in a bunk bed if you want there to be 2 kids living in this house. You could also convert the room into a teen room instead, or a toddler's room if you want to. I went with a kid instead. So yeah, it has room for threesomes, as I've decorated it at least. The interior style is supposed to be very calming. I want to say I went with a mix of something a little bit modern, but mixed with something rustic. So rustic modern, I suppose. I don't really know what to call it, but those are the vibes that I feel like going for. I don't want to go all in on modern, because I kind of wanted there to be a little bit of like a country rustic charm to the interior as well, since we're building in Brindleton Bay. I just felt like the family living in this house was probably into that vibe, to be honest. So that's why I mixed the modern pieces with the more rustic pieces, and I like how it turned out, but you guys might not. I don't know. We all have different tastes, and that is completely fine. And I know that it's a mix that's not necessarily everyone's favorite either, but sometimes it's just fun to experiment a little bit. So also the order that I do things in for this build was a little bit weird. I do realize that I did a lot on the exterior before I even began to do the floor plan, which is something that I highly recommend that you don't do, because if you say that you do landscaping before you start doing the floor plan, even place down the staircase on the indoors, it can kind of mess up with the plants. Like they get all misplaced and stuff, and that is super annoying because you're gonna have to go back and correct it all the time. So don't do it like I did it. I just was not thinking. Honestly, I had this plan for the backyard in my head, and I just needed to execute my plan before I forgot it. So that's why I did it like this, but I highly recommend that you don't ever do all of the exterior, like landscaping and stuff, before you do the floor plan. Also, I was just kind of procrastinating doing the floor plan a little bit because I hate doing floor plans in very boxy houses, and as you guys can tell, this is basically a box with a smaller box attached to it and then a box on top. It's a very boxy house. It's very squared. So I really dislike doing floor plans for these kinds of houses because there's nothing to go for, like, or to follow. Normally I would follow the lines or the corners of the house, but for this one there aren't really many corners because it's just a box. We only got 4 corners to deal with, or 4 corners to follow, not a lot of lines, no like natural kind of floor plan to just put down. So yeah, that bothered me a little bit, and I knew that it was going to bother me, so I just kind of procrastinated for a little bit, and that's also one of the reasons that I did a lot of the exterior before I started doing the interior. But I highly recommend, again, that you don't do landscaping before you've done the floor plan for the house, because if you move, like if you extend rooms or expand rooms by using the arrows on the end, like, yeah, does that make sense? By using the arrows, you'll basically drag items that are kind of leaning on the wall. You'll drag them as well along with the room. I don't know how to explain it exactly, but you'll end up moving some plants around and it's super annoying. So that's why I recommend that you don't do it like that. Don't do it like I did it, okay? Yeah. That's basically all. Don't build like I did, okay? And you'll be good. But for the backyard, I ended up giving them a little bit of like a sand pit for the kid, where they also have their jungle bar or the monkey bar, whatever it's called. I always forget it. It's fine. And they also have a pool. There's the grill as well that I placed down later on. So they have a little bit of like an outdoors eating area as well. I thought that would be fitting for them. I don't know what the weather is like in Brindleton Bay. I kind of imagine it to be a little bit bad, but they can deal. They decided to live there, so they probably are okay with rain, or if they're not, then that's just too bad. There is, however, like an umbrella over the dining table, so that might come in handy if it rains a lot in Brindleton Bay. I don't know. So, but they have a little bit to do in the backyard. No plantsy kind of stuff though, for a change. But, I mean, we got plants, obviously. But no plant boxes or planters or plots or whatever. Nothing like that for a change as well, so... It was also a smaller backyard actually, and I ended up dedicating a lot of it to landscaping simply because there's a lot of tile on the ground, and I like when backyards aren't fully tiled up, if that makes sense. I like when there's actual green in the backyard. So here you see me struggling big time with the stupid floor plan. I feel like I came to an acceptable solution in the end. So you basically, when you walk into the house, I like when the staircase is in the first room. I don't really know why. I just do. But you basically, so I was trying to make sure that the staircase would be close to the front door. And then you basically walk into the dining room is on the left, but we have a lot of like storage on the right side. So that's where they could put their coats and gloves and beanies and whatever else they need. I still want that kind of clutter in the game. I feel like it would be so cute, especially for areas like Snowy Escape. What's it called? Mount something. I forgot right now. Okay, I can't remember it right in the second. But Snowy Escape, that world, because it's usually cold and snowy and stuff. So I feel like for areas or worlds that are a little bit on the colder side, or maybe even just rainy, it would be great to have that kind of clutter. It would look realistic. I don't know about you guys, but I've had my beanies out all summer. They're just lying on the clothing thing in the hallway where I hang up my coat hanger thing in the hallway. Clutter. We need more clothing clutter, right? I have been overusing the shoes ever since we got Dream Home Decorator as well, because I just love shoe clutter. It's realistic to me to have your shoes out in the open, because that's just how we do things here. Most homes in Denmark, at least, you have your shoes by the front door because you take them off when you walk into the house. So I just want more clothing clutter like that. That would be great. Like a little pile of beanies, or just a beanie and a pair of gloves or something. That would be so cute. Or call them mittens, or maybe mittens are the ones you use for the oven. English is not going well today, and I know I said that in the last video, but I have an excuse today. I've not really slept. So I had to pick up my mom at the airport, and I just could not fall asleep, and then I woke up because I knew that I had to get up early. Do you guys ever, when you know that you have to get up early, do you guys ever wake up even earlier just automatically, even though you've basically not slept at that point? I do, and that's what happened today. So yeah, Language-wise, it's going a little badly, but we're gonna deal with it. It's fine. So this is what I mean with like rustic, country-esque vibes, but then mixed with modern, because in the kitchen I actually used the counters from Silla Dorada, Jungle Adventure, that's what it's called, Jungle Adventure. I felt like I hadn't used them for a while, so I decided to go for those instead of Country Kitchen Kit or just Cottage Living or even Parenthood, because I know that I use those counters a lot. So I decided to go for the Jungle Adventure ones instead. And then for the kitchen, I put down, you can't use those bar stools, but they look nice as decor. They don't work with the table, but it's nice decor. I think they're even too close to the table, so your Sims probably won't be able to sit on them. But it's just decor, okay? And they are modern, so we're just kind of adding a little bit of the more like rustic pieces, such as the counters, or here in the the dining room. The dining table, I would say, is more of like the rustic country style that I'm talking about. Also these hallway tables over here as well. And then the chairs, again, are more on the modern side, along with the bookcase over in the corner. So we're just kind of going for a mix like that throughout the whole house. I just felt like, yeah, I felt like I wanted to make it work for this interior, so I did my best. Like I said, might not be everyone's cup of tea, but that is completely okay. Also, love the box clutter. I overuse it as well, I realize, but the box clutter is amazing and I love it, so I'm gonna continue overusing it. Also, another thing is that the floor itself is definitely a bit on the rustic side, I would say. It has like, I think you can see the nails in the floor. Yeah, it's also one of the floors that got updated, so it has extra swatches, but I think this is actually the standard swatch. I just like the tone of the wood, so I decided to go for that one. I think I did try out one of the darker ones, the more dark, warm brown one, but that was just not the vibe that I was going for this house. So this color, though, looked very pleasing to me, so I decided to go for that one. And also rugs. The rugs that I'm using throughout this house are definitely a bit on the rustic side as well. But in here, we're going for couches and chairs that are a little bit more modern looking, some of the plants as well, but then the fireplace, also the coffee table, and also the side table are definitely more rustic country-esque. Although that side table is actually from Jungle Adventure, so, but it has the vibe to it, okay? I talk in vibes a lot and I realize that, but it's a good word. It just covers a lot of things. So I stick to it. It's yeah, I've adopted it into my vocabulary and I'm overusing it because it just fits in a lot of different situations. And now while we're talking, or while we're on the bathroom, I'm gonna talk about something else because I don't like bathrooms. So, but basically, just to quickly update you guys, there's enough bathroom stuff in this house. They actually have two bathrooms. They have this one on the ground floor, which has a shower and bathtub combo, and then on the second floor there's a 2x3, so it's a super small bathroom, but there's a toilet, a sink, and also a shower, so everything they should need. Again, they're covered. Their bathroom needs should be covered. I know that it's kind of strange that the bigger bathroom is on the ground floor, but that's just how the floor plan worked for this house, so it is what it is. But because of that, I also decided to put in laundry machines on the ground floor, so for a change. I know that I've kind of been skipping those a little bit lately, but I had the space and I felt like it was fitting because the bathroom was just there. I don't know. So they had the space, basically. There was an extra tile. Also, actually something I forgot throughout this house was on one side of the house, I forgot to place down, windows. So I go back and do that at the end of the video, or close to the end of the video, because I just realized all of a sudden that I hadn't placed down there were a lot of missing windows, but it is fixed. So the bathroom on the ground floor and also the dining room actually gets a window on that side of the house. And I believe also the children's room, and is it the bathroom on the second floor too? Or is it just the hallway? I think it might be the bathroom. I don't remember the layout on the second floor, but you'll see it at the end of the video. So if you're wondering what that whole flat wall with no windows, what's going on there, that's basically just because I was forgetful. But I went back and fixed it, so we're all good. Also for the children's room, I decided to kind of close off the little area that they sleep in. I thought it would be cute So I decided to place down around the archway leading to that little area of the room. I placed a curtain that your sim should be able to walk through, by the way. Curtains don't really, what's it called? Mess up with rooting and stuff. So you can use them as decorative pieces throughout the house, just in case you did not know. And I felt like it was just fitting to place it down there so they can kind of like close off that little area when they sleep. It could be their little cave, if you get what I mean. So it would be like really closed off and cozy in there, and yeah, I think something like that is super cute. I used to share a bedroom with my brother when I was younger. So my brother is 2.5 years younger than me, and we used to sleep in bunk beds, and I'm the bigger kid, so I was always on the top bunk. Those are the rules, but I always wanted to be in the bottom bunk because that meant I could like place curtains or sheets or something in front, like you could tuck them into or underneath the mattress on the top bunk, and you can kind of make your own little cave. I wanted to do that so often when I was a kid. Later on, I also got one of those loft beds, even though at that point I had a bedroom in the basement, and the ceiling was so like placed low. I don't know, the walls were very, very short, basically to the point where I'm 5'11", so if I was wearing heels, I would not be able to walk upright in the basement. That's the situation that we're in. But I had a loft bed, and sometimes I really felt like making a cave underneath the loft bed and just putting the mattress down there. I just like when everything is closed off when I sleep. I think I've said this before. I just like sleeping in like smaller spaces. So sometimes I do this for the kids and also toddlers in my builds because I just get cozy vibes. But anyway, we are at the end of the video, so I'm gonna wrap up this voiceover now. If you guys like this build, you can download it off the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT, and you can also find it under the hashtag Aveline or AvelineYT. And also, I fixed the rest of the landscaping off cam, by the way, just in case you were wondering what's going on with the landscaping in the backyard. I just do it off cam, so don't worry about that. But yeah. Also, the tray files can be found on my Patreon, which will be linked to in the description box down below. If you like Roblox videos, check out my Roblox channel, and if you like lifestyle videos, check out my lifestyle channel. Both of those are also linked to in the description box, and that is all I got for you guys today. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye! And I am glad to let you know, but only if you give me a kiss. Yeah, it's no secret at all. It's so obvious to all of us. Yeah, you're perfect, from the way you laugh to the way you behave when you're mad. So perfect, when I see you dance, spin my world around and around. Ooh, I know that you're worth it. Ooh, 'cause girl, you're perfect, amazing. That I'm kissing you, it's not what you expect from someone so perfect. When we go out, it's always fun. You pick me up when I'm